Jen Burrington, Economic Development Specialist for the City of Shakopee, and today we are at Koda Energy. I'm with Stacy Cook, President of Koda Energy. Hi Stacy, thanks for having us today.
Well, hi Jen, thanks for coming out today.
So tell me a little bit about Koda Energy.
What we do at Koda Energy is we produce renewable heat and renewable electricity using biomass residual fuels.
Why did Koda Energy choose Shakopee?
One of the capital partners, RAR Malting, has a very large heat and electrical load, and they had a desire to run their facility on renewable energy. Also, Shakopee is in the center of an area that has a lot of biomass residual resources that we use for fuel. For instance, Shakopee, Mdewakanton, and Sioux community is only 7 miles away. They provide us with dried urban wood waste. Being close to your fuel source is very important to reduce your carbon footprint, and that's one of our founding principles here at Koda.
So Stacy, could you take a few minutes to take us around Koda Energy and show us how the process works?
Well sure Jen, that sounds great. Let's go see it.
So Stacy, tell me a little bit about this facility and what this is all behind us.
This is a pile of oat hulls behind us. This is about 9 semi-loads that'll run the facility for about 9 hours. But keep in mind, it takes about 8,000 semi-loads of product a year to run this facility. The semi-trailers full of product go back into this building. Oat hulls go in this bay, wood goes in a bay on the opposite side of the building. They'll discharge their product, then a large wheel loader will push the product into those grates at the far side of the building where it moves through for further processing. So that's the first step of the process. Let me show you what happens next.
Great.
So once the fuel leaves that fuel barn area, it goes into 4 bins down here. So we have a wood bin, an oat hull bin, a barley bin, and a malt bin. So that combined fuel blend then goes through an in-feed hopper and into the milling chamber on a hammer mill downstairs. At that point, what we're doing is we're milling that product into a coarse ground flour, and it's ready to be fired in a boiler.
I'd love to see the boiler. Can you show us that?
Absolutely, let's go.
So Stacy, can you explain a little bit what is happening in this room right here?
Okay, so what we've seen so far is the fuel came into the facility, was put into the process, was processed in the hammer mills into flour. Now it comes up into the power plant proper, and we control the facility from this station right here. And from here they can control the fuel feed and the fuel processing that we've looked at already, the firing rate of the boiler over on these screens here, steam production, thermal production, the turbine electrical production, and emissions monitoring. You can also see the thermal image of that processed fuel tank where all that processed fuel is being stored prior to combusting in the boiler, so we can tell if there's a fire and we can respond to that. So I think the next thing we should look at is how the fuel is combusted in the boiler, and we'll go out and do that now. In there you can see where the fuel comes into the boiler. Now the temperatures in there will reach 3,500 degrees Fahrenheit to convert that chemical energy stored in the fuel into heat and light inside the firebox. Pretty cool, ain't it?
Yeah. Well, we've seen the combustion process. How does this turn into sellable energy then?
Well, let's go take a look. I'll show you. Okay, so we've seen the fuel come into the facility, the processing of that fuel, the control room where we control the entire facility from that control station, and the combustion process where we're releasing the chemical energy stored in the fuel into heat and light. Now from there, what happens is we produce steam with that heat and light. It spins a steam turbine to create electricity. We extract some of that off for the thermal heating. Now the electricity that we produce all comes into this cabinet. First we feed our own transformers to run our facility, and then all the cabinets you see down that end of the room are feeding all the transformers over on RAR Malting's property. So we aren't done yet. We still have a little bit of electrical energy left over, and that goes out this way through our substation, steps up in voltage, and we transport that to the Scott County substation for sale to the broader public.
What do you feel makes Koda Energy unique?
There are many facilities that use biomass for creating heat and or power. What really makes Koda Energy unique is the combustion process that we utilize here. Very few facilities in the world, and hardly any in the United States, use a suspension-fired process like we looked at. We are actually controlling a dust explosion to convert the energy into fuel.
And why is Shakopee a great place to do business?
We are adjacent to RAR Malting Company, which is the largest single malting facility in the world, located right here in the heart of Shakopee. There are many synergies with that. They're a very large load for both thermal energy and electrical energy, which we produce, and they also produce some of our fuel to fuel our facility. So aside from that, great restaurants, entertainment venues like Valley Fair, this is a fantastic place to work.
Well, thank you, Stacy, for showing us around the facility today, and thank you for being a Shakopee business.
You're very welcome, Jen. You guys are welcome back anytime.
Well, that's it for this episode. Until next time, remember to think Shakopee business.